Welcome back. For those that don't know, my name is Justin, here, local artist down in New Orleans at Crest Coast Tattoos. Yes, I have my own little spot now. I'm grabbing the green soap, and we don't use green soap. Y'all know we use Vaseline to clean the skin. So I'm gonna go over this. I already showed the video how to do smooth shading. So I just want to finish this because I don't want to start something else and leave it undone. So I'm just about to go and smoothen this out. I'm gonna start with the lightest tone we have, because I know things show up a little darker on fake skin. So I'm gonna test this tone out. This is the lightest tone. And if it's too light, I'm gonna dip it in my rinse cup to lighten it up. So it's not too dark. So we're gonna keep moving with this. And I'm gonna be moving at 8.5. I believe I did this shading at 7. Oh no, I did it probably at 8 volts. But we're gonna be moving at 8.5 just so I finish it up. And wherever I feel I need to slow down at, I can always just slow the machine down. Because you know, the higher your voltage, the faster your hand speed has to be. I think for smooth shading, it definitely takes priority for a slow voltage, patience. So I'm going to try to match it up with what we have here. And as we see, there's a light source kind of coming directly down. So basically, it's going to have highlights on each one and shadows only behind some of the leaves. And it's going to be most likely a shadow there. So if the light falling, I'm going to act like it's coming from here. The light source is going to be coming from here, and it's going to fall over to that right up in there. Let's just keep it moving. It's always good to go off your light source, especially if you're trying to get realistic. And it takes some time to master it. I don't think I haven't mastered it yet. So, you know, just as you keep working, you get used to it. And by the light coming from here, and as this petal curve over, I know this will basically be like a little slight shadow. The light not really hitting on the edge like that. Unless we had another light source coming from this away, but we're just gonna go off of that one. Because there's multiple light sources, that's why I say you can't really just get used to it easily. It takes time. Because if there are 3 light sources, light could be hitting all over the place. But it's still gonna have its mid-tone, shadows, and highlights. So I think with one light source is kind of leave for more contrast, more shadows. You see, I mostly go back and forth, side to side, but sometimes I add those circles if I want that super saturated look instead of a brush look. And remember, this is just the lights, so you know we still got more tones. And I always recommend doing your lights first and then coming back with your darks. Some people prefer the opposite, to do the shadows first and then come with their lights. But especially with me, when doing a portrait, I use my lights and then I build up my tones for my portraits. So once you go too dark, you can't go back. Like I said, we're gonna use this because that light comes from there, so it's gonna swing over about right there. I'm not sure exactly how I will cast. Like I said, I'm not the master at the shadows. Still practicing, but that's a lot more way advanced to know where your shadows fall at. Just going out of head. I'm not looking at a reference. I'm just doing this out of, freehand, out of my mind right now. So to study that, imagination like that, and getting used to your light sources, is definitely a good skill to have in case you don't have an image to go off of. But realistic work, I like to go off of an image. That's what make it realistic, looking at something that's real and bringing it to life like a portrait. Alright, about to dip into the mid-tone. Hit some of these darks coming from out the inside. And so look at the hand motion, sometimes forward and back slightly, sometimes going up and down, sometimes circular motion. So you can always change it up. In the rinse cup, I'll be back to a lighter tone. It may not be the lightest, but we definitely lighter than our mid-tone by dipping in a cup of water. You gotta build it up. I said, take patience. I might have me another portrait today. Y'all know that's probably what I've mostly been posting. Yeah, portrait is kind of my thing. Like I said, I like the realistic, mimicking the image, bringing it to life. When I first started drawing, that's what it was. It was a face, I never started with cartoons or nothing like that, but eventually times changed. I just started doing it for people that liked those things. Doing cartoons and stuff like that. And I started trying to draw faces out of my head, which was looking cartoonish, because I didn't know the realistic features, of course. But practice, that's the best thing you can do. Don't feel you wasted your time. Like right now, I could be doing the tattoo, but I held off and said, you know what? Let me do some smooth shading. This will also be muscle memory for me, even though I already got the muscle memory, but just a little practice, Ain't nothing wrong with that. Cause like right now, I don't have a canvas that's sitting there in pain. So when people in pain, it do kind of cloud your judgment. Some people be hurting a lot, so it make you want to stop. Sometimes they just tap out, with their own fake skin. You don't have nobody to tap out, nobody to, feel bad for. nothing like that if they're in pain. Because the pain, the skin don't feel nothing. We just keep it rolling, keep it rolling. And soon I'm going to be doing some portraits on fake skin, which may take a long time because I really want to push and see how much I can really do into a portrait. Because I know a lot of clients not about to sit 8 hours for a portrait. So I'm going to push myself to put 8 hours into a portrait just to see what comes from it. I also want to start on working with colors. Start working on some color portraits and things like that, animals, that sort of stuff. Like I say, but it's all realistic. Because that's my style, that's what I like to do. I do other things for people that, you know, if they're asking, that's what they like, but my main thing I always will go in the realistic style. So y'all let me know what you all interested in, what you all like to tattoo. And if you're just starting, of course, like, just practice, you know, wander around. If you got something that you like, probably can focus on studying it better. But I know starting out you want to study a lot of different things as far as lines, shade, the weight of lines, you know, different things like that. I don't too often have to use the weight of lines because I'm doing realistic. But on darker skin tone, I definitely use it because those lines help it pop out on darker skin tone. The shades will work, but I have to use like pure black, as if I'm making the outline, but I'm doing a bold border of shade to get something to pop out. You know, so you're kind of limited. So I think that's where you really get to, you know, show everything what you get to do. You know, everything you can do. Like this fake skin. I believe if you could do it on this fake skin and you be patient, take your time, you could accomplish it on real skin. Like right now, I'm rarely tapping it, but as you see, it's going to build up. As you keep going, it's going to build up. Shades on shades, and that's why you don't want to push your tones into people's skin, because it only, you know, traumatize the skin and make it get swollen a lot faster. You want to tap it and keep it moving, you know. When you're tapping it slightly, slight, it's not getting as traumatized and all swollen up and irritated so fast. But if you're pushing and adding pressure, yeah, their skin is going to swell up. You're going to be in flames a lot faster, and it's going to make them tap out a lot faster. And I don't know if you all know, sometimes I do like tap outs to get people to, you know, try to do some big stuff, you know, see how long they last. But I also offer them numbing cream. It's not about trying to get them to tap out. It's about me trying to do a large piece, you know, to showcase. You know, you want people out there with your work so they can see what you can do. But if you can't get no one to sit long like that, then you'll never get a chance to showcase your large work, to show that you can do that. So that's why I offer numbing cream, everything, whatever I can do to help the client, I do it. And of course I throw deals, specials, things like that, just to make it more affordable, because like I said, this is something also that I want to do. I want to showcase these large pieces. So I want to throw a deal to make people come in for a larger piece, even if they think they can't sit. You know, the price will kind of lure them in to getting it, like, oh, it's reasonable. But also I'm like, yeah, I want to do this, so I try my best to get them to sit. So far, out of all the tap outs, 12-hour sessions I have done, I believe I had, what, 3 people that really sat throughout the whole 12 hours. Of course, we took a break or two here and there like I do with everybody else, but they lasted. And 2 of them didn't even have numbing cream, I don't think. Yeah, 2 of them didn't have numbing cream. They tried it, but they didn't like it, so they no longer wanted to use it. So some people is just built for tattoo pain, and some people can take it with no problem. Others, yes, they need numbing cream. It really helps them out. But if you are used to it, you're not worrying about no numbing cream. Let's rub this down a little bit. That's with the Vaseline. We'll darken this shade right here. And this is gonna be a light tone because you don't want to make it black and blend in with that color over there. You know, as you see, this one had outline because it was demonstration purposes. But naturally, if I was doing it realistic, those lines would have just been a shadow underneath the leaf, and I would have left that highlight right there. While that line bend, I'm going to kind of get closer to the edge. And yep, if y'all thinking about getting into tattoos, it's definitely a good skill to have. You'll enjoy doing it, especially if you're passionate about your art. You have nothing to worry about. Just keep it pushing, keep it pushing. And also, y'all have any questions, anything like I said, I'm here to help. I'm trying to grow myself and keep growing. That's why I want to help others to keep me on my feet. Let me know it's never the end. You never settle for what you got. You want to keep getting better and better and better, because there's people out all over that do whatever they do, construction, anything, that's always working to better their craft. Basketball players, think about it. Some people settle when they get to the NBA. Some people still work hard, and try to be the best. The question is, which one do you really want to be? There's nothing wrong with, I ain't gonna say, I can't speak for others, but ain't nothing wrong with settling. I'll say if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. It's your life. You got the right to choose. Everybody don't want to be, like, for example, a business owner. Some people just want to work in a company and go home, 9 to 5, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way they want to live their lives. Everybody not cut out to be the owner of a business. Some people got kids, they ain't got the time. They just want to spend time with their family more than they want to work. And that's all it is to it, because it can be a toll on you, like working. You have to make time for family. I understand that, That's the thing that, I believe a lot of tattoo artists battle, making time for family. Even when you got your appointments and you got things scheduled out how you want them to be, it's just that still you catch yourself working, like even when you're not at the tattoo shop. You probably be messing with a design, messing with other own pictures, or messaging people, about booking. And with my case, of course, I do the YouTube, I do the tattoos, but for those that don't know, I also kind of do a little filming, like weddings, birthday party events. I was taking the pictures now, but of course my fiance takes the pictures. I take them as well, If she can't be around, I'll be taking the pictures. But it's a lot, never know what someone has going on, so they choose to settle for their own reasons. But for me, at a certain point you have to settle, because like there's limitations, like when your kid come up and all that, you're gonna have those limitations. So it's all about how far you're willing to go. How far you willing to go. So for all those that think it can't be done, it's possible. Even like they say, people with 1 million subscribers on YouTube, it's possible. You just gotta be dedicated and work for it. No telling how long it took some people to hit 1 million, which some of them probably hit it real fast, some hit it real slow. Everybody in their own lane move at their own pace. You gotta think about it. Some people grow up with more resources than others. Some people, like I say, grow up self-taught, had to learn it on their own, and they move at a slower speed. Vice versa, you can switch it up. But I always say, you never want to keep comparing yourself, because no telling how much help the next person has, and you only have yourself, so you can't compare yourself. You're only one person, can't compare against an army. So stay in your own lane and compare yourself to yourself. Trying to beat the past version of yourself, becoming a better person overall. So y'all message, let me know something new about you all. How y'all got into tattoos, or how you just became a tattoo enthusiast, like loving tattoos and liking to get them. Let me know. I would love to hear your story. Just chat it, and if y'all need help, want to see something else for those that do tattoos and they just need some tutorials, anything like that, let me know. Because at the moment I'm just trying to finish this piece. At least it'll be done, and I can't just look at that and start a whole nother piece and it's not done. I know as artists we tend to do that a lot. I know I used to do that a lot with drawings. Start something, start on the next, and I might not finish that first one until what, next month. Okay, now remember, since we have this leaf here, I'm gonna keep that space there because the leaf is black, and it's gonna, right here, it's gonna close that off. That black is gonna close the edge, so I'm gonna leave that space on the end because you don't want black and black touching. A little shade and black touching, you could do that, but make sure it don't never get lost. You don't never want your design to get lost. And now by me having that, see I got two leaves. In between those two leaves I have edges of the flower, which I'm gonna shade slightly. And now I'm gonna also go back with the darker tone and just give it a slight line for the shadow of the stem. And for all you all that don't know, I know I ain't say it, but it's the same needle I used when I did the tutorial for how to get smooth shading. This is the 13 curve magnum. 13 curve magnum. Yep, slightly using the edges as I get to the corners, like where I'm at now. I tilt, you notice I tilt my needle more versus me doing like this when I'm doing something straight in the middle. I'll tilt it, barely tapping in the corner. I have to go back with that black and get that darker shadow. But let's keep working to try to smooth this out a little bit. We're also going to add a shadow here where this line is. Like I said, if it was the lines, it will be a dark shadow there. So we're going to use the black this time and slightly hit that area, slightly. Right against the line, basically. Y'all can see what I'm doing, right? I'm adding this shadow right here because this petal is sitting on top of that petal, so normally, like realistically, it should cast a shadow. So I want that to be dark. Now I'll keep that petal right on top with a little shade, but not, too much shade to lose the image. Keep smoothing out, smoothing out. Now I'm gonna come across this petal. I'll leave it like that. I'm gonna come across the petal with my lightest light first, and I'm gonna start at the bottom. I'm gonna act like this is the stem. It's the shadow of the stem that's then casted across. You want that light first. Then you're going to come from your bottom with your dark. Just keep working it, keep working it. And fake skin definitely will give you that patience, you know, just move slow. Fake skin will give you the patience you need. So when dealing with people, actual people, yeah, you definitely need patience. That's one thing I would say the most important in tattooing, you know, customer service. You know, you're going to deal with people, so don't expect not to deal with people. So don't be having the attitudes and all that. But you're going to get those people that do have attitudes, but you just got to know how to deal with it. See, I darken that up. Put a little shadow, have a little shade. Work that out, work that edge, smooth it out. And even if you have to just swipe slowly, you know. As long as you're building your tattoo up, like you said, less trauma to the skin. You're not doing no harm just by tapping on it, you know. Lifting up, swiping like an airplane. Go down, lift up. That'll be more of a whip motion technique, like whip shade. Soften these tops up. Top of these petals because we're about to add a dark black on the edges. And that leaf. And then we're gonna go smooth it out with a lighter tone. Alright, so I only added shade on these ends because out here we ain't gonna have a black shadow around it. We can just put a shade like this. Because by the end being already filled in, the end of the petal being filled in, you want a slight shade to leave it that border. Unless you're dealing with like a color or something, maybe you want it flush because you could tell you can easily differentiate a color from a color versus like a shade from a shade that's close in tone. So you'll slightly add a little shade behind it just to separate it, give it a soft background feel. So I'm going to go into this with the black and the leaf. I'll show you how I would make those edges pop out by adding this black around it. It shapes the flower out more. So you gotta watch for that. You know, sometimes your background can shape out your foreground. So just look out for when doing things like that. There go the dark. And slightly come up because I'm not gonna have the whole leaf dark, of course. I want you all to still see some kind of line in it. And I'm going to use a lighter shade to hit that edge. And I ain't gonna really leave no highlight at all. It's gonna be light shade because most likely with the petals being there, it's not really receiving no light. If anything will receive the light, it will be coming from and hit that edge of the leaf. So we can leave that edge a little lighter. And by that being a little lighter like that, I would probably come back with, like I said, the soft shade to kind of surround it. say, focus on one thing at a time, one thing at a time. You can master your lines first, practice your lines, and then you can move on to trying to master your shade. Because with lines, I know you could probably practice your needle depth, starting off with that, how deep you should go, things like that. But you see, I only got a little bit hanging out, and I'm barely tapping. So actually, I don't know if my needle or my own tool even touching the skin. Maybe it is. Yeah, it looks like it's touching the skin a little bit, but I'm not riding the tube. I'm mainly hanging my needle out so I can feel it when the needle touch the skin, and most likely you all can hear it as well. Cause I know I hear it. You can hear that boom when they hit that bog down. That's when you're touching the skin, and that's why I think it's easier on fake skin. Not for putting the ink in, but you're not going to hear that sound when hitting real skin. But when you hear that sound, you know you're going in the skin. You're hitting the skin at least. Real skin, you're going to feel a certain vibration, and that way you'll know you're hitting the skin. So that's how I measure it on real skin. I feel the vibration, and I can see the needle when it touches the skin. That's why I hang my needle out, so I can see the needle touch the skin. You know? But when in doubt, like I said, go off the vibration. When you touch the skin, you're going to feel the needle like bog down. You'll feel a vibration on your hand. Even when like tattooing on fake skin, of course I can feel it. But you know, real skin, you can't hear it. And like I said, since the light coming from this way, we got darks in here and light on the outside. But now we're about to be having a little dark in here. And we're going to go super light, because that's the side that's closest to the light. And y'all let me know how I'm doing. You know, if y'all have any questions or ask different theories of why I do it, how I do it, or y'all have any other ways, definitely let me know. I'm here. That's what I'm here for, you know. I'm willing to help out who I can help out, also learn who I can learn from. Like I say, you know, you never settle, always can learn more. You'll never know it all. Like I said, I don't think we live that long to know it all. It's so much, it's history, you know, so much history behind us. Even if you live 1,000 years, like, it's still a lot you're not going to catch up on. Like I said, this we've been going what, centuries, like since BC ages. So well, yep, just know you're always learning though. Always learn, never stop learning. Even in life, you know. Life skills, you never stop learning. So you can always grow as a person. For example, like I said, customer service. Grow your customer service if you plan on getting into tattooing. Because that's something you're definitely going to need. You're going to deal with some people, you know. Some people don't always act the part, but every now and then you run into the people that just want entertainment. So you got to know how to deal with it. And you got to be comfortable, you know, with dealing with people. Because if not, they can see that you're not comfortable. And they will try you out on purpose, like just because they know that you are uncomfortable. Some people will do that, and they can't just be playing the whole time. They'll just, you know, test you. So I had it happen to me before, like, you know, so people can see. They're like, oh no, I don't want to talk to you. Like, call this person. I'm like, oh. Why? When I just told you the answer that they just told you, you know. They just told you the same thing, but you just, I guess it felt comprehended from the next person, you know. Just because they felt that you was an amateur. I said that you looked young, you know, they want to hear from an older person. You know, you'll get a lot of that. You're in the shower with a lot of older people or something. Yeah, they'll kind of listen to the older people before they listen to the younger adult. So we still soften this up, and like I said, these two is going to be the softest. They got a shadow right here, so I'm going to keep that shadow there, but the rest of the petal is going to be super soft. Even that leaf right there is not going to be as dark. This is them lamb chop. Keep it working, keep it working. See, I'm back to that edge again, and I'm slightly tapping it. And like you said, if you're not comfortable with doing like how I'm doing, using the edge to hit those corners, always go down in your needle size, especially as a beginner. Don't worry about using the edges. You go drop down to the 7 curve magnum, getting those tighter corners. But I'm just kind of a little used to cutting it, and even when they get like too tight for me, and I see some small in the corners, I'll drop down probably to a liner or the 7 curve magnum or 5 curve magnum. You know? They also got smaller, but I think 5 curve magnum is the smallest I've used. I never used nothing smaller than the 5 curve magnum. I also want to try out that's the 8 gauge 1 round liner, just to see how thin those lines is. So the 8 gauge is supposed to be the thinner needles, when the 12 gauge is like a little standard size needles. So I want to try that out. Alright, so you always got to experiment. It's just like paint, you know, try a new brush sometime. You know, different kind of paint. Things like that, you never know how it show out. So far, all the inks I've used was, of course, dynamic, which is what I'm using now, the black ink. And for my color, the first colors I've used was Eternal. I think, yeah, Eternal was the first colors I used, which was nice, you know, I liked them. Just sometimes some of the colors feel like it was watery. And I kind of started trying out some of Intense colors, which Intense has some real, you know, thick colors. Not too thick, but, you know, nice pigment to hold in the skin, which was great. I tried Fusion. I don't use Fusion as much though. I mostly use Intense and Eternal, because some of Eternal colors, like a yellow or something, sometimes the Bumblebee, it really holds better than some of the yellows I done tried with Intense. Maybe I didn't try enough yellows, but yeah, once I got the Bumblebee, I ain't really worried about getting no more yellows from Intense like that. Could really show good. Well, you know, just experiment, try different things out. Never know what might work, what don't work. We softening up, y'all, softening up. Let me know what you all thinking. Like I said, be real light. You ain't gotta go dark at all. Alright, so I was going to the what that was, tattoo convention and everything. I went to one in New York, which was nice. You know, I don't know how many of you all heard of Nico and that Yamako art and all them, Fall, Boot, all them. Yeah, that was the one in New York. That one was great. I also had an after party at the Last Rites Tattoo Gallery in New York. It was pretty nice. That was the first shop I think I've been in that I've seen 3 floors. They had a main floor, like, which was an art gallery, I believe. Then you walk downstairs, it's more like a art space, a learning space, which is probably used for, you know, tattooing as well, but it was looking more like a art space for painting, say critiquing work things like that. And then once you go to the matter of fact, no, the basement was the art space for I think like guest artists and things like that. And I believe the third floor was the club. It was like the club. Paul Boot had his own little, you know, room, private room. I believe he tattooed out of himself. You know, but it was a nice shop though. Definitely nice, you know, downstairs, upstairs, and the third floor. Can't beat that, right? That's New York though. Yeah, while I was out there, I did a couple of things, you know. Hopped on a train. I am a copter, you know, the bus down Rolling. You know. They definitely be on Canal slinging them fake Rolexes. Like, the next time I'm out there, make sure I grab another one, because I don't know, something I like about it. I just wanted to test it out, so I only got one when I was out there. When I should have got multiple. They don't be expensive or nothing. Like I said, they're fake Rolexes, but they don't tick either. You see the clock winding. So if you didn't really know it was fake, you know, or if you didn't really was like examining it, you wouldn't know it's fake. Say that, you know. Cause they gotta shine like no other. I got a couple of Invicta watches. And no lie, that something about that Rolex that just shine like, and like, bro, I don't know. I never tell you all, but I know this is one time I was on Canal. We have Canal Street down here in New Orleans as well. Now I got off the bus and I had the Rolex on that day. You know, walking out about to call somebody, I think. And the whole time as I'm walking from the bus, they had a guy just was looking at my own. So I decided to stop, and I just sat there, you know, about to keep doing what I was doing on my phone. The guy walked past me, and then he turned around. Like, you know, the whole time you're walking past, he was looking at my wrist, still looking at the wrist. When he finally got past me, he turned around and asked me, "That's a Rolex?" And of course, I'm like, "Yeah, that's a Rolex." I'm like, "Yeah, them are nice." But that's crazy, like, because he was a nice distance away from me to be able to tell if that was a Rolex on my own. I don't know. Maybe he just had good eyes. But I was, you know, that was pretty interesting. Like, when he did that, I'm like, wow. Good eyes. But also, me myself, I don't be liking that much attention. So now I don't wear a Rolex like that. I only wear it when I'm kind of going somewhere. Yeah, at that time I used to ride my bike everywhere on the bus. Get on the bus, take my bike off. I used to get around. I went to Delgado for a little. That's the community college down here in New Orleans. But yeah, just keep it moving, y'all. And one thing you all don't forget, I made a video about that too. Number one mistake a lot of artists miss is promoting yourself. Especially with social media these days, a lot of artists feel, okay, social media is the end of promoting. Like, I can just promote online. No, you still have to go out in the real world, on the streets, because everybody don't have a social media. Unless you just want to be tattooing people that just have a social media, which, you know, if you're big, got millions of followers, ain't nothing really wrong with that, because you're too busy to go promote. Of course, you made it, you know. You made it, but if you still got free time, get out, you know, go promote. If you slow in the shop, anything like that, go promote. And you don't always have to be slow in the shop, just to get your name out. Because I showed y'all, they got a video on my page where I went out and promoted during, you know, parades and Mardi Gras time. And I could have been tattooing that day, but I decided not to. I said, you know what, me gaining more clients will be bigger than me making this money for one day. It's kind of, you know, make a decision. And I think promoting your business, it'll be worth it in the long haul versus making the money for it that day. So you can always get the money. Okay, y'all, we approaching towards the end. And I never added white ink on. I don't think I did add white ink on the face skin before. But I don't really see it though. I don't know. I was gonna say add white, but the skin white enough. You don't really have to add no white. I'm about to add the darks. Like I said, we ain't gonna go with black. I'm gonna rinse it out. I'm gonna go with a little gray. A little darker gray tone. Even though, yeah, we might add black right there because the leaf is there and it will be black underneath that leaf. Yeah, but when you're tattooing, don't do like me. Of course, I'm just going out of my head just to get mainly smooth shading. I'm not really going to the super realistic rose and nothing like that because I'm not looking at a rose. Well, man, what flower is this? The hibiscus flower. I'm not trying to get a realistic hibiscus because I'm not looking at a photo reference of a hibiscus. I'm just going for a smooth shade just to show you all the process and how I go about doing things, you know, to get the image that I'm looking for. And also, like I said, I'm gonna start doing the portraits on the fake skin. So for those that are looking to learn more about portraits and things like that, you know, ask your questions what you have concerns with. I'll make sure I answer that when I do get to doing my portraits. Because the next thing I was thinking about doing on fake skin was gonna be an anime character, which is, I think, Naruto. I'm gonna do him, and maybe I was gonna go try some color in the anime as well. I'm gonna start out with the outline, of course, that's anime, so they got lines, cartoonish. But when I'm coloring it in, I'll try to color it in like with a realistic style approach. Like this has lines, but I'm trying to shade it in with a realistic approach. And sometimes with cartoons like that, like I said, a realistic approach, I can look at a cartoon picture, but the picture is not realistic. So I have to kind of think of where some tones will be at to give it more features to make it look more realistic. And that's why I think doing stuff like this helped me, you know, with my imagination. What some tones should be, help me, or the light should be coming from this way, that sort of thing. Because if you don't know that, you don't know the first place to start, you know. You probably just have a flat image because you don't know where your shadow should be at. Your mid-tones, you just will be flat because anime is like real flat, you know. There's not a whole lot of tones in them, a whole lot of features. So y'all let me know what y'all thinking so far. Let me see how long I've been tattooing so far. So far it's been what? An hour? I think I started around 10:30. And it's the morning time, so it's 11:30 now. We ain't been that long on this. And I'm gonna just post the video as is, just so you know y'all can skip through, look through however y'all need to. I know when I be cutting up stuff, of course, I wind up cutting out a whole lot of stuff I said, so I know how to say a few things that might help y'all. So I don't want to cut it up and cut it all out. So just, you know, roll through. I just did a little talking, stuff to help with tips, stuff to help with business when promoting, you know, to making your business last. Everything, you know, growing as a human being. Like I say, you never stop learning, keep growing. Now, since we got dark shadows up in here, this is also curving down in that hole, so I'm going to come up a little more with a dark shadow. And as we roll over, then we're going to get super light. Because now that light is hitting it up there. The light can't hit inside of it. Alright, you all. Like I said, if y'all want to follow along, you know, I'm way beyond saying follow along. But y'all can always go back, look at the video, and just follow along. You need to stop it, just stop it. Make sure you see what I'm doing, you know. Have any questions, let me know. So this is the Vaseline. Like I said, this is how we clean off the skin. I got a video that show how, you know, clean off your skin, which is just Vaseline. Like I said, the skin ain't really that dirty, but Vaseline. I'm gonna rub it on there, add a little pressure when wiping off. You see, it wasn't dirty, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. Look at, that's all I really wiped off. Just a little bit of ink. Okay, so we about to go do these leaves, and then I'm gonna see what else I need to soften up, and then we pretty much gonna be done here. Y'all let me know what you all think. I'm gonna go in here with the edge. I'll say, cause that's a little shade. And slightly till that edge in, but not too much shade to where it blends in. Oh damn, I forgot I had to call them back. Hold on. I'll call them after this. Well, yep. What should I title this video? Just how to tattoo, or you know, how to shade it. I'm gonna title how to shade a tattoo. That probably will be better for you all to understand that I'm really just doing shading in this video, and I'm doing no lines in this video. I only use the 13 curve magnum, and that's only for shading. I done used it for lines before, like, you know, hard edges and stuff, but it's a shading needle, you know. That's what I mostly use it for, is shading. Like I tried different things. Like a lot of people be saying line with a shader, which I never really got that part. At first I understood it because you was getting bolder lines, until I found out that they also had bigger liners. So I don't know why I use the shader when I could get that same boldness, you know. So now I just be sticking with my 14 round liner when I need some bolder lines. It takes time for to push it in. That's why I also want to get another machine. That's the 4.2 millimeter stroke. They say, from what I heard, it pushing, you know, lines a lot better. Like that 14 round liner. But I can still push it with my 3.2 millimeter on this Zion pen. And with FK iron. Well, y'all let me know. Y'all sending some work. I still didn't add my email. I added the links, but I gotta see if I add an email or something, you know. Or y'all just message it to my own Instagram, you know, one of the two. Sending some work so I can, you know, help you all, probably critique, see what you all probably fell short with. And if it's just every bit of amazing, I'll let you know. It's amazing. I try to tell the good, what you like, what I like about it, because I can't tell you what you did right and what you did wrong. Because as a beginner, yes, you can say that, but as you know, as you get more advanced, people do things for certain reasons, so you can't say what was right and what was wrong. Like, so you learn the rules so you can break the rules, you know. I'll never forget once I learned to use that was charcoal charcoal pencils on a gray tone paper. So they showed, how to use the blacks and the whites and, keep them separate, things like that. But once you learn that, you caught yourself using the black and white, mixing them up. When they taught you not to mix them, but you can mix them once you learn the basics of it. Because now you know the use of it, you know how to use it. Alright, y'all, I'm about to be calling it quits. Right at the edge right here. And now mind you, it might not be as smooth as it can get. Because most likely it can get a lot more smoother. And you never know, one day I might just decide to go over it. Right now I see it's pretty good. Just because I know I'm short on time. It's been an hour and some change, but this time I gotta do some other things. Like I said, y'all know I got a couple of things going on. So y'all share with me, let me know some things y'all into. How you got into your tattooing, or what made you want to tattoo. Things like that. But hopefully I can help you all with the videos that I make. So y'all can learn some things. I just observe, because that's how I kind of learned after my 2 years in the house. I did start tattooing in the house, scratcher. What I learned within those 2 years got me into a tattoo shop, someone I already knew, working in the shop with them. It was alright, did small stuff, things like that. But eventually, you build up, you grow out of things, So everybody don't start off in the same place. Ooh. Yep, after this, I'm about to go make this little run, come back, and I'm about to, I gotta schedule this person for this portrait. Like I said, I should be doing a portrait later today. So you all will be seeing it. I got another portrait I already need to post though. I don't think I posted it yet. I just been behind on a few videos though. I'm gonna get to them, like I said, because it done got a little busy. After this Mardi Gras time, it got a little busy. It was busy on Mardi Gras, but like I said, I went out, spend time with the family, pass out little flyers here and there. Alright, let's check it out, you all. You know how we do. Use our Vaseline. Rub it on. I'm gonna make sure I clean this whole. Try to clean the whole fake skin. Not just the tattoo. Let me know what you all think. We looking good, we looking good. You see to the top, I ain't really smooth that shade out up right there. Everything else is pretty smooth. I could go smoother, but I think we good. Until next time, like I said, it might be the anime character doing some line work. So see y'all in the next video. But yep, really appreciate y'all for watching. We just did some shading right fast. Spent about an hour, maybe 2 hours shading the rest of that design because I want to move on to the next. And I've been backed up on a lot of videos. So I really appreciate y'all for watching. Hope you all like, comment, and subscribe. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comments below. Let's go.